Now, on 4 News Now at 6, voters in Idaho will decide the fate of a law that would legalize abortions in Idaho. Why the proposed ballot measure faces an uphill battle even if it's approved in November.
I'm tracking summer heat in the First Alert forecast. I'll let you know how hot it's going to get and when this round of unseasonably warm weather is going to peak.
And families are waiting for the trails at Camp Sakani in East Spokane to reopen after last month's deadly wildfire. We'll show you what still needs to be done before the popular hiking and mountain biking trails can open again. Live on 4 News Now and streaming on KXLY+. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
This November, voters in Idaho will decide the fate of the state's strict abortion ban. A proposed initiative would legalize abortion until fetal viability or in case of an emergency. Thanks for being with us. I'm Robin Nance.
And I'm Derek Dice. If approved, it would essentially reestablish the abortion rights Idahoans had before Roe v. Wade was overturned. Idahoans United for Women and Families turned in more than 110,000 signatures to get the resolution placed on the ballot. The organization says the proposed law speaks to a fundamental American value that no matter our own personal beliefs, we ought not impose those on others. The proposed law would only need a simple majority to pass.
But even before it was placed on the ballot, the initiative received pushback, with the Idaho Republican Party last month approving a resolution calling on the legislature to repeal the law if passed in November. We're also waiting to see if voters will have the opportunity for their voices to be heard on Washington's controversial so-called millionaire's tax.
Yeah. Earlier this month, the organization Let's Go Washington submitted signatures to the Secretary of State's office to get it added to the ballot. The law imposes an almost 10% income tax on anyone who earns more than $1 million a year. Governor Bob Ferguson called the tax a major step toward fixing Washington's tax system. But critics argue the tax violates the state's constitution. The Secretary of State's office will need to verify that the organization collected at least 309,000 valid signatures. Be sure to download the 4 News Now app and turn on push notifications to get the latest election information sent straight to your phone.
Right now, fire crews are mopping up a brush fire burning near Spokane's Hilliard neighborhood. It's burning near Queen Avenue, northwest of Esmeralda Golf Course. County fire crews say it's burned about 5 acres and is 100% contained. Crews will stay on scene to monitor the situation. People are asked to avoid that area. And Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker here now.
Yeah, and Chris, our current conditions really helping those fires spread, and it's only going to be getting hotter.
Right, and you feel for those firefighters. They're doing such a good job, but these conditions are not great to be fighting fires in. Let's take a look at our current conditions. Lots of 90s on the map right around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. 93 in downtown, 93 in Post Falls. Right now, it's 92 in Millwood, as well as Meade, 90 in Spokane Valley, and 91 in Suncrest. And we're going to be even warmer tomorrow around the region. Lots of 90s on the map, including 97 in Lewiston and 92 degrees in Dayton. No triple digits tomorrow, but we are going to be getting close. Look how much warmer it is today compared to Sunday. With the clouds and the overcast conditions, we stayed in the 70s in many locations. We're 15 degrees warmer right now in Spokane compared to 24 hours ago. 17 degrees warmer in Pullman and 16 degrees warmer in Coeur d'Alene. We're just going to be a couple of degrees warmer at this time tomorrow, but we're also going to be cloudier. We see on our satellite this monsoonal moisture is bringing clouds mainly to our east. We are going to start tapping into some of that moisture tomorrow with that thin layer of high and mid-level clouds filtering our sunshine. It's not going to have an impact on our temperatures, and we'll start to see those clouds increasing overnight. But this evening, we are going to be clear, warm all the way through 10 o'clock. We're still going to be in the mid-70s, bottoming out at 59 with increasing clouds overnight and light winds. I will be back to let you know just how hot it is going to get this week and tell you about some humidity that might make it even a little more uncomfortable.
Chris, thanks. Firefighters in eastern Washington are dealing with fast-moving fires and longer fire seasons because of extreme fire behavior.
Local fire departments say it's something everyone needs to prepare for each year. Derek Strom talked with Spokane Fire about how they train for more extreme wildfires.
Eastern Washington is seeing hotter, drier, and windier conditions than it has in the past, and that's a bad combination for wildfires. It leads to extreme fire behavior, making fire season last longer and leading to wildfires that burn much faster. Earlier this month, South Pend Oreille Fire Chief Shane Stocking says 2 of his firefighters were almost killed because of extreme fire behavior on the Chelan Hills fire.
We saw this explosive run of fire, created its own weather and ran over what we would call an entire division.
This type of extreme fire behavior is becoming more common on eastern Washington wildfires. Spokane Fire says it first saw this kind of fire behavior on the Gray and Oregon Road fires, and it changed its training to prepare for it. Part of that is training with other fire agencies so they can work together more easily.
We show up together on the fires anyhow. You know, District 9, City of Spokane, Spokane Valley, District, I mean, we got our borders, but once these fires hit, we're all working together anyhow. So it's only natural to bring that training together.
That extreme fire behavior isn't just a reason for fire departments to train differently to respond to it. It can also cause evacuation orders to change at a moment's notice. The Spokane Fire wants people to be ready in case that does happen.
Fire doesn't need to be in your neighborhood for it to affect your neighborhood or to get established in your neighborhood. Those embers can travel a mile, mile and a half, you know, so you could be looking at fire, like I said, across, way over there across from the highway, and then you look across and all of a sudden you got smoke behind you.
Spokane Fire recommends keeping updated on evacuation notices and having any medications or documents you need ready to go. Even if you live in an area that's not typically affected by wildfires, that can change quickly. In Spokane, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
A heads up for drivers, you can expect delays on West Celtice Way and North Idaline Road in Post Falls. There will be lane reductions while crews install new fiber optic cables there south of the freeway. The city says daily closures are expected to last until August 5th, but they won't be taking place during the weekends. Flaggers will be routing traffic as necessary. People in Spokane could soon see a new 10-mile-per-hour speed limit on one downtown street. It would be the lowest speed limit in the city, and that change could eventually happen on other streets as well.
It's part of a proposed shared streets ordinance meant to make streets safer for pedestrians, cyclists, and drivers. Natalie Keller tells us what the changes would look like and how people feel about it.
This block of Wall Street between Spokane Falls Boulevard and Main Avenue will be the first road to get the shared street designation if the ordinance passes. Cars will have to yield to cyclists and pedestrians, and the speed limit will be lowered from 20 miles per hour, something that requires an ordinance under state law. John Snyder, the city's director of transportation and sustainability, says the road already has a mix of cars, bikes, and pedestrians, which is why it was selected.
But it's part of a series of things we're trying to do to increase safety in the downtown area and also just make it a warmer, more inviting place for people walking.
The city says planters and outdoor seating would also be added. Carlos Rivas, who works downtown, says he can get behind the changes.
If it was to be changed, it would be really cool. But the problem right now is just like the lack of safety around this part of the street.
Acacia Coy, who lives in Spokane, thinks the city should either keep the road how it is or entirely close it off to cars.
I feel like it might just add to injuries and accidents or road rage. You know, people have a hard time with bikers anyway on the road.
If the ordinance passes and the city were to create more shared streets, those roads would need to meet specific criteria, including having light traffic and being frequently used by cyclists and pedestrians.
You can't just take any street and go, oh, that's a shared street. It has to meet certain requirements.
Snyder estimates the new speed limit would take effect in the fall if the ordinance passes.
A first reading of the ordinance is slated for Wednesday's City Council meeting, but it would still need a final reading before being passed. Reporting in Spokane, Natalie Keller, 4 News Now.
And still ahead, protests erupt in Maine after a federal immigration agent shot and killed a 26-year-old Colombian man.
What investigators say led up to that shooting in a push to save a museum dedicated to the history of Post Falls. See the desperate repairs that need to be made to the Chapin building and why the city says it can't help. That's next on 4 News Now.
Plan your day with Matt Gray, only on Good Morning Northwest.
4 News Now is brought to you by Post Falls Volkswagen.
This is your community, and your stories deserve to be heard. At 4 News Now, we're here to listen, connect, and bring you the news that truly matters. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
When you're ready for more peace and quiet, Numerica has flexible home loans so you can get more for what you love. Numerica Credit Union. Money where it matters.
Happy anniversary from McVeigh Brothers. For over 90 years, our family has been selling the very best windows made for the Northwest. And this month, when you buy a full house package of windows, we'll give you a free Therma-Tru entry door with your purchase from McVeigh Brothers.
Welcome to the Summer Roundup this week at Cal. Over 300 rigs have been strategically priced low, and $44 down is all you need.
We're not horsing around with these special buys.
During the Summer Roundup this week at Cal.
When you get into a car accident, you may be wondering if you need a lawyer.
Well, if you were injured and it wasn't your fault, you should probably talk to an attorney.
Call Russell and Hill. The advice is free.
Call 800-LAW-0842.
When you've got time for each other, you want a place that makes every moment count. We got it. World-class golf, stunning views, and memories made with every swing. We got it. Adventure that makes your spirit young. On the lake, in the woods, or just soaking up the beauty. We got it. And when the sun sets, the food, the drinks, the feeling. Unforgettable. Whatever you're looking for, Coeur d'Alene, we got it.
I suffered from chronic knee, ankle, hip, and back pain for many years, and nothing alleviated the pain. I had seen the commercials for the Good Feet store, and I went in, I got fitted for the arch supports. It changed my life, and it could change yours too.
See how we can help you at the Good Feet store.
The clock is ticking. Walker's Furniture and Mattress must make room for the biggest furniture delivery of the year.
Which means hundreds of items have to go immediately. Save up to 70% off floor models, closeouts, discontinued styles, and clearance items.
New collections are already arriving, and we need space. But once these incredible deals are gone, they're gone for good. Or shop now and pay over time with no interest financing for 5 years with no money down.
During the inventory reduction sale this week at Walker's.
This is the Chapin Building. It's more than 100 years old, and it sits on the corner of 4th and Spokane Street in Post Falls. Right now, it's being used as a museum by the Post Falls Historical Society.
But the building, dedicated to preserving the past, has an uncertain future. Mary Sheridan explains what's at stake.
The Chapin Building has served the community of Post Falls in many ways over the past 100 years. It began as a pharmacy and was later a laundromat and a vacant spot for school dances. When the city acquired the building in 1979, it became the police and parks department. Today, it's a museum of local history.
People will come in and donate things from us, like Frederick Post, their family comes in.
The city of Post Falls still owns the Chapin Building, though, but they allow the Historical Society to use it rent-free, so long as they cover the day-to-day maintenance of the building. But at more than 100 years old, these expenses are adding up.
These beams going across are rotting out, so they'll need to be replaced.
As the president of the Post Falls Historical Society, Chris King alerted city leaders that these expenses are too much for the society to handle alone. But at a city council meeting last month, the mayor explained the city isn't in a place to help out.
The short version is we don't have the money. We've been working on how we're going to pay for health insurance and pay our police officers and dispatch and fill potholes in the streets.
We are being really careful about how we spend our money because we don't know if we'll be here in a month or a year.
The future of the Chapin Building is still undecided, but the city put out a request for proposals and plans to evaluate the best use of taxpayers' dollars. The Historical Society submitted their request for proposal last week. King tells me they're open to extending their hours and finding more community sponsors.
Once you lose a building like this, it's never the same again. You can't re-enter it. This is part of who Post Falls is, and we want to stay here.
The Society plans to meet with city leaders for a workshop in the coming weeks. In Post Falls, Mary Sheridan, 4 News Now.
The Post Falls Rotary Club is trying to preserve one of the city's most recognizable landmarks. Built in the early 1900s, the Water Tower on Spokane Street served as the city's water system for more than 70 years before being replaced by modern infrastructure. The Rotary Club's now fundraising to prevent the Water Tower from being torn down. The organization says this is an opportunity to save the landmark and potentially upgrade it. And that could include enhanced landscaping, seasonal lights, and possibly a viewing platform.
We hit 90 degrees today in Spokane, only the second time this season, but I've got the next 7 times in the first alert forecast. It's going to be hot. I'll tell you all about it after the break.
Sign up for the 4 News Now Daily Local at KXLY.com.
4 News Now is brought to you by McVeigh Brothers.
There are trucks, and then there's the Sierra with employee pricing for everyone. With the capability to handle what life throws your way. That's the GMC Sierra, leading where it matters most. GMC Sierra, it's the truck. Celebrate Independence Day with employee pricing for everyone on all GMC Sierra 1500 models. With 0% APR, that's over $13,000 total value on this Sierra 1500 Denali.
That's Montana Sapphire from Phillipsburg, Montana.
We are the Dillos. We are from Northern Kentucky. Being out in a rural area, coverage is pretty hit and miss with other carriers. So switching to T-Mobile solved a lot of problems that we had.
I'm able to use T-Satellite now. We've got coverage no matter where we're at.
America's best network meets off-the-grid satellite coverage with T-Satellite. And now switch to T-Mobile and get free phones for $0 down. Plus 4 lines for only $25 per month per line.
Better service, better price, win-win.
After a car accident, life can feel drained. Medical bills are piling up, leaving you to wonder how you'll support your family. And insurance companies couldn't care less. That's where Dubin Law comes in. By getting tough with insurance companies and making them pay you the money you deserve. We'll cut through their lies while fighting for your justice. And we don't get paid until you win. So when insurance companies start playing games, let us get a little colorful. Dubin Law. Tough, reliable, human.
What happens when Will Ferrell, Brandy, Rita Ora, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Luke Wilson all come to GMA this week?
Can you repeat the question?
Good Morning America on ABC.
What you are looking at is a video from the annual T-Rex World Championship race at Emerald Downs in Auburn. The first race was held in 2017 as a team-building exercise for a pest control company. The race now draws hundreds of tiny armed competitors that compete in multiple heats until a champion is crowned. And you might be interested to know that Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker says she's in next year. She's all in.
Oh, yeah. I
Actually,
love
Derek,
that.
We're raising you up to do it. Yeah, you can do it.
You can do it too. I'll watch. Yay! I'll be like in my little outfit with
I feel like I'd pull a hammy.
I feel like we should start the 4 News Now T-Rex race.
Okay.
Let's work on that. Not this week. No, there will be no jogging by me. It is going to be hot. And it is already 89 degrees in both Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Mostly clear skies in Spokane. As we look east over the Veterans Memorial Bridge in Coeur d'Alene, we see these clouds moving through the mountain areas. There's more where those came from. I'll explain in just a moment. 4 things to know about your weather. We're going to be in the 90s all week with mostly cloudy skies the next couple of days. Those clouds aren't going to keep our temperature down. They did yesterday, but not tomorrow. Possible showers and thunderstorms Wednesday and Thursday. Anything that we do see will be fairly isolated. We have very dry air in place. Sun returns Friday through a hot weekend in the mid-90s. Tomorrow will be in the mid-90s. Mostly cloudy skies, light winds in the morning. You cannot count on the breeze to cool you down. Just south at 5 to 10 briefly in the afternoon, with 90s just about everywhere. Valley Forge and Spirit Lake the exceptions, but 96 in Meade and 95 tomorrow in downtown Spokane. Around the region, 80s in Pullman and St. Mary's, as well as Grangeville. Will be in the 90s elsewhere. Still waiting for our first triple-digit day. It has been a slow season in terms of the really hot weather. We just have not been tapping into that. I've not heard many complaints. Our high temperature trend over the next 7 days does take us up into the mid-90s by the weekend, keeping in mind that the warmest day this season has been 91, and we've only had 2 days of 90 degrees or higher. This is going to feel quite oppressive, especially because we are going to add just a little bit of humidity into the mix by inland Northwest standards, not by standards anywhere east of the Rocky Mountains. We've got that clockwise rotation around high pressure to our east. That's bringing up the heat, but it's also going to bring up some monsoonal moisture. That's where our clouds are coming from, and that's where the humidity is going to be coming from. It's not going to be humid by any means, but starting Tuesday into Wednesday, you may start to feel a little sticky. And by our standards, it will feel humid. We just are so dry and not used to any sort of moisture in the air this time of year, but we're going to start seeing it Tuesday and Wednesday. A 20% chance of measurable precipitation on Thursday, and then we are into the sunshine with temperatures in the mid-90s for Saturday and Sunday. Derek and Robin.
Yeah, plenty of hot weather on the way. All right, another deadly shooting involving federal immigration officials is now under investigation. This one happening in Maine.
This as outrage continues over the deadly immigration and customs enforcement shooting in Houston that killed a man who was on his way to work. Melissa Adon has the developing details.
Protests erupting in the coastal town of Biddeford, Maine, following a shooting involving federal agents that left one person dead. Bystander video shows what appears to be federal immigration agents and uniformed law enforcement officers in the aftermath of the shooting, performing first aid on an individual on the ground at an intersection.
All of a sudden, all these plainclothes, vested men started running down the street, abandoning their cars.
Maine's Attorney General says ICE officers were conducting an enforcement operation related to a final order of removal when the subject attempted to flee in a vehicle in the direction of the officer and was fatally shot, adding the ICE enforcement and removal officer was placed on leave. Senator Angus King said he spoke with Secretary of Homeland Security Mark Wayne Mullen about the incident.
He was in a vehicle, pulled out in the vehicle, and the term the secretary used was weaponized the vehicle. He was shot by an ICE agent.
Two groups representing Maine's immigrant community identified the deceased as a 26-year-old Colombian man who they say was authorized to work in the U.S. and had a social security number. This as outrage continues in Texas over last week's shooting that killed Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, a Mexican national who lived in the U.S. for decades, after an immigration and customs enforcement officer shot him on his way to work. ICE claims it was in self-defense as the 52-year-old tried to run the agent over. His death has set off protests across Houston as Salgado Araujo's family has called for an independent investigation.
His life mattered. It had value. His family deserves answers. Harris County residents deserve answers. The American people deserve answers.
And in Minnesota, officials say federal investigators have begun sharing evidence in 3 shootings by federal agents earlier this year, including the deaths of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
All right, still ahead, more adults are moving back in with their parents. See the factors forcing them back home coming up.
Plus, the U.S. and Iran ceasefire appears to be unraveling as both countries exchange strikes. The impact it's already having on oil prices and the future of peace talks. Next on 4 News Now.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Findlay Downtown Toyota.
The ultimate tribute show, Meatloaf, leaves audiences awestruck. Live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino, Thursday, September 3rd. Visit the Coeur d'Alene Casino box office or CDAcasino.com to buy your tickets.
Winning is just the beginning.
Sandpoint Furniture, a name that has always been synonymous with high-quality home furnishings matched with sensible pricing. Our customers from all over the Northern Panhandle and the Spokane area have discovered that it's well worth their time to make the trip to our beautiful showroom to find just the piece that they've been looking for. You'll also love our friendly, experienced sales staff who can show you all the unique choices that our 30,000 square foot store has to offer. And Sandpoint Furniture has a reliable delivery service, a first-rate install team as well. So make that drive to Sandpoint Furniture. They've been making your house a home for almost 80 years now.
There's a reason the F-150 has been America's best-selling truck for 48 years. Features, power, and price make the F-150 a no-brainer. You now have over 13,000 pounds of towing capacity and even hands-free driving available. Our team at Wendell Ford is proud of this truck. It's one of the reasons we've been around for over 80 years. When buying your new truck, think Wendell Ford. Drive for generations.
Hardworking families are struggling, while too many tax dollars are wasted on fraud and failed programs. It's got to change. I'm Michael Baumgartner. In Congress, I'm fighting for our priorities and getting results. We cut taxes while increasing funding for rural hospitals, provided historic support for WCU research, and helped pass what the American Cancer Society called the most impactful cancer-fighting bill in years. I'm Michael Baumgartner, and I approve this message because I'll never stop fighting for Eastern Washington.
Congress, they're a bunch of crooks.
Bought and paid for.
That's why I trust Nate Powell.
Nate Powell. Nate Powell. Nate's whatever the opposite of a politician is. Nate enlisted 2 weeks out of high school and deployed twice as a Marine.
Became a firefighter like his dad.
A union guy.
And Nate's a cage fighter, too.
Never lost a fight.
He's running for Congress to take on the billionaires and corporations. Nate's going to fight for Medicare for all.
He's never taken a dime of corporate money.
I'm Nate Powell, and I approve this ad.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. A nice, relaxing stay? We got you. Wanna be entertained? We got you. Wanna play golf all day? We got you. Coeur d'Alene Casino. Winning is just the beginning.
Around the world, gas and oil prices are on the rise once again, with growing uncertainty about the Strait of Hormuz.
It comes as the U.S. and Iran ramp up attacks against each other, unraveling the ceasefire agreement. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
New video shows the U.S. and Iran ramping up attacks against each other once again. U.S. Central Command saying it used drone ships to hit an Iranian ship maintenance facility and submarine, calling it a first. And Iran's military releasing this footage, saying it shows missiles being launched in response to what it described as U.S. aggressions. Both sides giving conflicting information about the Strait of Hormuz.
They're not pushing us around, we're pushing them around.
In a post on social media, President Trump saying it's open and will remain open, but the blockade to stop Iran's ships and customers is being reinstated, with the Navy saying it'll go into effect tomorrow.
I think it's a very hard argument to suggest that the Strait of Hormuz is open on either side, because the northern route has been closed by the Iranians and the southern route is impassable because of the Iranian attacks.
Today, the Iranian foreign minister addressing the president directly in a post, saying in part, Iran has always been the guardian of the strait and will remain so forever. Traffic has been stalled in the key oil passage, crossings down 52% week over week, according to maritime intelligence company Kepler.
It is flowing very slowly, and that is going to be a significant problem as we see energy reserves around the world now start dwindling again, and energy prices, of course, going up.
A gallon of regular gas is hovering around a national average of $3.82, according to Gas Buddy. Now, on top of the naval blockade against Iranian ships and ports, Trump has also suggested placing a 20% fee on all cargo shipped through the strait. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Well, still ahead, more young adults are packing their bags and moving back in with mom and dad.
Why experts say their return also benefits parents. Coming up. And a cleanup is underway in Sakani Park following last month's deadly wildfire. Why crews are warning people to stay out of the area. Next on 4 News Now.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
At Jacobs Custom Living, we don't think you need to climb Everest to be a great outdoorsman.
Right outside your back door can feel like a faraway place where you leave the day behind. Here you can get in touch with your outer side. Family and friends are accomplices in your escape to freedom. If you build it, they will come. They being positive vibes and good times. So let's build it. We've got the blueprint. Jacobs Custom Living. This is outdoorsing.
Did you know that Spokane Hyperbaric Center uses oxygen to reduce pain, inflammation, and swelling?
I didn't know that.
Did you know that hyperbaric oxygen therapy promotes new blood vessel growth, fights infection, and releases more stem cells from your bone marrow?
I didn't know that.
Would you like to know if Spokane Hyperbaric Center is the right choice for you? Go to hyperbarichope.com to find out.
Spokane Hyperbaric Center gave us hope. And now you know.
Davis, with basketball season over, what's next?
Just continue to learn the heating and cooling ropes with Kyle.
Yeah, that's right. Right now we're working on his diagnostic skills. Let me show you. So Davis, this unit right here, long run times, energy usage through the roof, a couple of breakdowns this year. What do you think?
It's battling.
But?
Gotta go. Effort can't fix everything.
That's my boy.
Beat the summer rush and call the heating and cooling experts at Bill's today.
Summer's on us. Go a little further and stay a little longer. Canopy Credit Union. Here, you grow. Terms and conditions apply.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
It's been almost a month since the Upriver fire wiped out 14 homes. Parts of Beacon Hill are still recovering. Camp Sakani is still completely closed off to the public in what's usually its most popular time of the year.
Yeah, Spokane Parks and Recreation says crews will be on the trails continuing fire cleanup this week. Our Angela Hara explains what they're doing and how they plan to make Camp Sakani safe for you to visit.
When you pass along Upriver Drive, you're probably getting familiar by now with the big signs that have closed Camp Sakani off. The Department of Natural Resources says crews will be coming in the next days to help clean up after the fire and cut off hazardous trees.
On Wednesday, DNR crews will be on the trails cleaning up the aftermath of the Upriver fire. Spokane Parks and Recreation says it took a trip to the camp last week and trails remain damaged, but it didn't reach much of the camp's disc golf course. But for some out-of-towners, the camp still being closed during the peak of summer is shocking.
I had taken a road trip from Mount Vernon from the other side of the state of Washington to come on over here to ride here, and I get here and find out that Beacon Hill's closed.
Andrew Griffin said he did a quick search online before hitting the road to Camp Sakani, but didn't notice it was closed.
I was a bit disappointed when I got here, and I wish that, like I said, that I wish there was some way that they could have let people know.
Minnehaha Park and Shields Park on the west side of Beacon Hill are still open, but the Spokane Fire Department says people should be careful in the area because trees are expected to come down the next weeks. The Wildland Resource Planner says people should not enter anywhere the fire happened or the unburned bottom of Camp Sakani. They also mentioned some trails may not be flagged off closed because the camp is a big area, so it's safer to keep your distance. After the 2-week cleanup, Parks and Recreation says it'll reach out to volunteers to help clean up the camp. There is still no date for when Camp Sakani will reopen. Reporting from Camp Sakani, Angela Hara, 4 News Now.
Well, you want to stay hydrated because we're tracking more unseasonably warm weather on the way.
Yeah, let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker to see when that heat will peak.
We are going to see our temperatures continue to climb this week. Tomorrow, will be the warmest day of the season so far, but we'll best it later in the week. We'll be in the lower to mid 90s in most locations right around the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. The same holds true region-wide. Temperatures ranging from 98 degrees in Omak tomorrow to the 80s in St. Mary's and Grangeville. Our forecast radar, and this may be a little surprising, you'll wake up tomorrow with some clouds. Taking a look here, the clouds will be moving in overnight with some showers over the LC Valley into the central panhandle. Then as we get into tomorrow afternoon, wouldn't rule out an isolated mountain thunderstorm. We're bringing up some moisture from the south along with that hot air. We'll clear out a little bit Tuesday night, and then more clouds stream in for Wednesday with another chance of showers and possible thunderstorms. Tomorrow, despite the overcast, we're heading up to a high of 93 in Spokane. Just a little bit of a breeze in the afternoon, 5 to 10 miles per hour. That's not going to cool you down much. And I will be back to let you know how hot it is going to get this week and have the 8 to 14 day forecast in just a few minutes.
One of the last remaining entrance shelters from the original Riverfront Park is now gone, but will be resurrected in a new part of the park this fall. Crews will build a new dog park on the northwest end of the park near the corner of Post and Broadway. The building has not been used in years and was torn down to make way for the dog park. But this won't be the only spot where your four-legged friends could play. The Spokane Humane Society is building a larger dog park on the east end of the park. The city hopes both dog parks will be ready for use this fall.
Families can once again go for a swim at the Valley Mission Pool in Spokane Valley. It was closed all last week due to a circulation pump failure. The city says that pump has been fixed, though, and everything is now back to normal.
In news around the nation, South Carolina's governor is replacing Senator Lindsey Graham's vacancy following his sudden death.
The interim senator will serve the rest of Graham's term, and a special primary election will decide who takes his place as the Republican nominee in this year's midterm elections. ABC's Christiane Cordero has the latest.
Today, flowers and condolences frame Senator Lindsey Graham's office on Capitol Hill. His seat in the Senate chamber is vacant for the first time since 2003. And this afternoon, South Carolina's governor appointed Graham's sister, Darlene, to serve the remaining 6 months of his term.
Lindsey has always been there for me, and now I will be there for him.
A special primary election on August 11th will decide who will replace Graham as the Republican nominee for Senate, a term set to begin in January. On Capitol Hill today, colleagues are remembering the senator as quick-witted and effective, who loved political debate.
Senator Graham was a very forceful and quick-witted presence in every room that he entered. His warm nature made everyone his friend, and I feel blessed to be one of them.
The halls of the Senate already feel empty without him. And I know I'm not alone in that feeling.
He was also seen as a war hawk, supporting military action in Afghanistan, Iraq, and Iran. Graham's final trip was to Ukraine, returning hours before he died. He served as a crucial link between Presidents Zelensky and Trump.
When I get back to Washington, I'm going to go with Senator Blumenthal to the Republican and Democratic leader to see if we can find time to move this Russian sanctions package that would give tools to President Trump to help end this war.
President Trump today remembered Graham as fiercely loyal and a friend. Washington, D.C. EMS responded to Graham's home Saturday night, and his preliminary cause of death is believed to be related to a tear in his aorta. Graham died 2 days after his 71st birthday. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
All right, switching gears to sports now. A Spokane Valley man may soon be a Guinness World Record holder.
He unofficially broke the record for the most grappler pull-ups in 1 minute.
Yeah, we share how Lance Petch made history on his birthday and what getting this record meant to the former Whitworth basketball star. That story coming up next in sports.
Sign up for the 4 News Now Daily Local at KXLY.com.
4 News Now is brought to you by Sapphire Gallery.
This is your community, and your stories deserve to be heard. At 4 News Now, we're here to listen, connect, and bring you the news that truly matters. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
Max, go get the ball. Go get the ball, Max.
When you're ready for more space to play, Numerica has flexible home loans so you can get more for what you love. Numerica Credit Union. Money where it matters.
Welcome to the Summer Roundup this week at Cal. Over 300 rigs have been strategically priced low, and $44 down is all you need.
We're not horsing around with these special buys.
During the Summer Roundup this week at Cal.
There are trucks, and then there's the Sierra with employee pricing for everyone. With the capability to handle what life throws your way. That's the GMC Sierra, leading where it matters most. GMC Sierra, it's the truck. Celebrate Independence Day with employee pricing for everyone on all GMC Sierra 1500 models. With 0% APR, that's over $13,000 total value on this Sierra 1500 Denali.
When your vision fades, the moments that matter most can start to lose their color. At North Idaho Eye Institute, our advanced cataract surgery helps bring the world back into focus with sharper detail and brighter color. See every smile, every color, every beautiful moment as it was meant to be. North Idaho Eye Cataract Surgery. Your vision, our mission.
It's an emergency inventory liquidation sale this week at all Walker's Furniture locations. Save up to 70% off all floor models, discontinued styles, and clearance items.
Plus, with no interest 5-year financing, save now and pay over time.
This week at Walker's.
On Dancing with the Stars, The Next Pro, 12 of the best dancers join me for the audition of a lifetime.
I'm here to win.
Woo! This is what hunger looks like.
Nothing is going to stop me.
Now watch me move.
Was this famous sports announcer fired because he allegedly cheated on his girlfriend? How she exposed his affair. I cheated on her. Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Welcome back into sports. A Spokane Valley man and former Whitworth basketball star may soon have a Guinness World Record to his name. On his 43rd birthday, Lance Petch took on the challenge of completing the most grappler pull-ups in 1 minute. I actually got the chance to talk to him following this amazing accomplishment.
Most people spend their birthdays by hanging out with friends or family, but for Spokane's Lance Petch, he was on the pull-up bar trying to break a Guinness World Record.
For Petch, it all started with a simple decision.
I'm going to attempt to break a Guinness World Record for most grappler pull-ups in 1 minute. 2, 3.
Honestly, initially, I was just made up my mind as like I want a world record. I looked at the Coney Island hot dog eating contest and I found out I could only eat 6 hot dogs at a time. And I had to start looking at pull-ups and things I was actually better at.
He found his event, but getting there took weeks of work.
And as far as actual training for the pull-ups, it puts so much strain on your arms and forearms and stuff. But just working with personal trainers here at Body Unlimited Fitness, they were able to give me all sorts of ideas for different training techniques that it kind of got me that extra 10% I needed to get over the world record number. So I'm really happy with that.
His coach says one thing separated him from everyone else.
When you are in this field and you actually care about it, you're passionate, you're along with your people through every step. So if they're having trouble, you're having trouble. With Lance, he was thinking about it all the time. His mindset was, how do I improve? How do I improve? What do I do? What do I need to tweak to make this better?
And when the clock started, every repetition counted.
30, 31.
31 reps, 2 more than the previous world record.
And I think oftentimes we train our minds to think smaller than what we're capable of. You think you want to be the best in your area. I started trying to think as big as possible, and I was like, no, I want to be the best in the world. I've been working my butt off for 43 years of life. It's like, why do I not have a world record yet?
Petch's performance now heads to the Guinness World Records for an official review, a process that could take up to 12 weeks. Reporting here from the Spokane Valley, Sam Kirk, 4 News Now Sports. Let's talk some hockey now, as the Spokane Chiefs have added a championship-proven coaching voice to their bench, hiring Parker Burgess as associate head coach on a multi-year deal. Burgess joined Spokane after spending last season as head coach of the Vancouver Giants. Before that, he led the Muskegon Lumberjacks to their first ever USHL Clark Cup championship in 2025. Head coach Brad Lauer says Burgess brings valuable experience and a winning pedigree to the Chiefs as they prepare for the 2026-27 season. And let's talk some World Cup as we hit semifinal play tomorrow as France takes on Spain in the first semifinal. France has won all 6 of its matches this tournament, led by Kylian Mbappe's 8 goals, while Spain has relied on stingy defense that's allowed just 1 goal through 6 games. And then on Wednesday, defending champion Argentina meets England for a spot in the final. Lionel Messi has 8 goals in the tournament, while Jude Bellingham has helped lead the Brits with 6, setting up a star-studded showdown in Atlanta. I know we were talking about those pull-ups, guys. It seems pretty tough.
So he's got a ball. That's what grappling is?
2 lacrosse balls. And
wow. Makes it even harder.
A whole lot of strength, apparently.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You'd lucky to get 1, I feel like.
Wow. I didn't even think about it. Chris?
I thought she could do something.
Oh, no, never, ever have. Your evening forecast, we are going to stay in the mid to upper 80s through 8 o'clock. 70s this evening, mostly clear skies through the evening, and then the clouds will increase, as will the humidity and the temperatures. I'll tell you all about it next.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Looking to lower your debt? We can consolidate your revolving balances into a structure.
What does that even mean?
It means they can help you combine everything into one payment and probably save money doing it.
Why didn't they just say that before? Who are you?
I'm your P1FCU financial translator. And honestly, I would just start with P1FCU.
P1FCU, banking translated.
667. Yeah, I can't help you there.
Wildfire season is here, and a spark could quickly turn into an inferno. The 4 News Now First Alert Weather Team is tracking conditions to keep you safe.
We track the winds, the humidity, the lightning, because even the smallest change can lead to disaster.
We're not just forecasting, we're giving you the time you need to keep your home and family safe.
Protect what matters most with meteorologists Chris Crocker and Matt Gray. The First Alert Weather Team, on TV and on the go, only on 4 News Now.
Hardworking families are struggling, while too many tax dollars are wasted on fraud and failed programs. It's got to change. I'm Michael Baumgartner. In Congress, I'm fighting for our priorities and getting results. We cut taxes while increasing funding for rural hospitals, provided historic support for WCU research, and helped pass what the American Cancer Society called the most impactful cancer-fighting bill in years. I'm Michael Baumgartner, and I approve this message because I'll never stop fighting for Eastern Washington.
If you're listening to this right now and you're suffering from numbness, tingling, burning pain in the hands, legs, and feet, pay close attention because you may be suffering from peripheral neuropathy.
What is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is actual nerve damage. Now, primarily we see this in the hands and feet and in the arms and legs.
What are the symptoms?
Symptoms of peripheral neuropathy are numbness, tingling, burning pain in the hands, legs, and feet, muscle cramps, and worst of all, balance problems that can lead to dangerous falls.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It is absolutely treatable, and we get some great outcomes.
If you're experiencing burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your hands or feet, or having balance issues, call today for your nerve damage screening. Your screening will determine if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our innovative treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe there's nothing that can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputation. The first 25 callers receive a free nerve damage screening. Act now and call to schedule your screening. First 25 callers receive the screening for free.
4 News Now is brought to you by Cal Cars in Airway Heights and Coeur d'Alene.
Over the weekend, a Western Washington grandfather visiting Yellowstone National Park was stalked and then thrown into the air by a massive bison. Carl McDaniel and his grandson stopped to take photos before the bison begins to charge at them. McDaniel evaded it for a few seconds, but then the bison eventually, right here, tosses him 8 feet into the air, breaking several of his bones.
He was in a lot of pain, and he was trying to not move his leg, but his immediate concern was for his grandson.
Experts say summer can be a dangerous time of year to be around male bison as they're at the peak of mating season and males are fighting for both territory and mating partners.
Oof.
Yeah, broke some bones, but probably lucky it wasn't worse, right? I mean,
scary. And the grandson was okay.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Right.
Yeah. Also, something to talk about is this heat.
Yes, heat and just a wee bit of humidity to tell you about as well. Let's start off with our high temperatures. Today, we did hit 90 degrees, only the second time we've hit 90 degrees or higher in Spokane. We hit 91 once before. Lots of 90s around the map, no triple digits, but we may start to see some triple digits as we get going. Here's a look at our highs so far this July. No real cohesive pattern here with below average temperatures in the blue, right about average in the gray, and above average in the orange, and just sort of sprinkled in here and there. We went from 77 yesterday to 90 degrees today. Well, here comes a very cohesive pattern. Not much of a roller coaster here in our high temperature trend. We are just going to be in the lower to mid 90s right on through the 7-day forecast. This white line right here is our average high. By this time next week, it'll be up at 86. It only goes up one more degree before it starts to drop, but that's not until the second week of August. But we are very close to the warmest time of year, and that's exactly where we will be next week, the warmest time of year. July 21st through the 27th. The rest of the country that is in such oppressive heat right now will be back to average, but we're still in this orange color. That shows me we're headed toward more above average temperatures. And then there's this, the above average precipitation, and what this is counting on is that we are going to be tapping into some of the monsoonal moisture that brings the rainy season to the desert Southwest, counting on that working its way this far north, which it does, but oftentimes it results in just an increase in humidity or clouds or elevated thunderstorms where we get that dry lightning. I hope we'll get some precipitation out of it, and it's underway, as you can see on our satellite and radar, those telltale showers and thunderstorms through the Intermountain West, and we're just getting brushed with some of the clouds with this, but we have more clouds coming for tomorrow. Expect mostly cloudy skies the next couple of days, and the possibility of increasing showers. We're going to see our dew points start to increase. We're getting really into the territory that start this off at 8 a.m. Tuesday. By tomorrow night, we could see our dew points up in the 60-degree range, and that for us is fairly humid. You will notice that feeling in the air, even though it is not humid by standards anywhere east of the Rocky Mountains. Your 7-day forecast: overcast conditions, mostly cloudy Tuesday and Wednesday, a 20% chance of measurable rain on Thursday, and then it is sunny and hot. Highs in the mid-90s for a lake kind of weekend, Robin.
Wow, that's really something. Well, there is a growing trend of adult kids moving home across the U.S.
Rebecca Jarvis explains why they're returning to the nest and why the kids aren't the only ones benefiting.
After going through a breakup and what she called a quarter-life crisis, Samantha Stobo was ready to leave New York City and figure out her next step.
My mom actually pitched the idea. She had recently moved to Miami. She pitched the idea of me coming and moving in with her temporarily while I figured out where I wanted to live, what I wanted to do for work. And then it kind of just spiraled and snowballed into 4 years later, and I still live with her.
The duo agreed on a set amount of rent Samantha pays and the living situation, which she chronicles on TikTok for her over 20,000 followers, and says it's made them closer than ever.
She is privy to a lot of information in my life, which makes her a really good sounding board, a really good confidant, a really good just like best friend. But I do remember at the beginning when I moved in, trying to navigate household chores, household responsibilities, who pays for what.
It's a growing trend. Last year, 49% of adults under the age of 30 lived with a parent, up 12% since 2019.
Home prices jumped almost 50% from 2019 to 2024, while incomes only went up 22%. So your kid is running twice as hard, basically, just to stay in the same spot. That's not a work ethic issue of kids going back home. It's a macroeconomic issue.
Casey Wright decided to move back in with her parents after 2 consecutive layoffs.
It made sense for me to be able to figure out how to get back on my feet and find a new job. And then it kind of just ended up me staying around longer than I expected it to.
Now, 3 years later, she's been able to make a dent in her student loans and save towards a down payment, while also helping her parents around the house.
My parents are older, so I am able to help them in their older years with stuff that they maybe can't do as much. It's been mutually beneficial for both me and my family.
Rebecca Jarvis, ABC News, New York.
4 News Now and STCU are honoring volunteers who truly make a difference with their time and efforts to support our community. Today, we're proud to announce that the Washington State Patrol Chaplaincy has been awarded a $1,000 grant in the name of Chaplain Bob Purdy. Chaplain Purdy offers compassionate care to state troopers and their families when they need it most.
I don't like to be recognized for anything. It's a quiet, behind-the-scenes thing that I like to do. And I don't do it for recognition. I do it in honor of my dad.
Chaplain Purdy's mission is to bring peace and relief to the troopers protecting our community. He credits his father and his faith. Thanks to Chaplain Purdy, his volunteering efforts, and to STCU for making sure volunteers count.
Very cool. Before we go to break, here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Since 1982, it's been our family's commitment to delight wine lovers with affordable Washington State award-winning wines. Our father-daughter winemaking team deliver a unique experience with every bottle.
Cheers.
This week, Findlay Downtown Toyota is celebrating 250 years of America's independence with the biggest July savings we've ever offered, like lease payments as low as $219 on your favorite Toyotas, or $250 of free accessory upgrades with any truck purchase. Plus, Findlay Toyota will give you an extra $250 dealer rebate for your trade-in or sales price, making it easier than ever to get your new Toyota today. At Findlay Downtown Toyota.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. A nice, relaxing stay? We got you. Wanna be entertained? We got you. Wanna play golf all day? We got you. Go to Lake Casino. Winning is just the beginning. So you're looking to have a good time? We got you. Jackpot on your mind? We got you. Come on down and play some bingo. So much fun, so why don't we turn the Go to Lake Casino? Yeah, go to Lake Casino. Winning is just the beginning. Oh.
There's a reason the F-150 has been America's best-selling truck for 48 years. Features, power, and price make the F-150 a no-brainer. You now have over 13,000 pounds of towing capacity and even hands-free driving available. Our team at Wendell Ford is proud of this truck. It's one of the reasons we've been around for over 80 years. When buying your new truck, think Wendell Ford. Drive for generations.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on our next job. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. Our thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
It's an emergency inventory liquidation sale this week at all Walker's Furniture locations. Save up to 70% off all floor models, discontinued styles, and clearance items.
Plus, with no interest 5-year financing, save now and pay over time.
This week at Walker's.
Join us in celebrating Latah Creek Winery. Don't miss your chance to taste Elena's fabulous food, sip Mike and Natalie's gold-winning wines, and save with our special anniversary discounts.
Cheers.
Beat the heat. Always water before 10 a.m. or after 6 p.m.
And your 7-day forecast, it will be mostly cloudy the next couple of days. Mid-level moisture streaming up, but it's going to be hot. Hottest weather of the season all week.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's something.
Yeah. Do your best to stay cool.
No kidding. Hey, we thank you so much for being with us. We will see you later on tonight.
Yeah, come back for Nightside at 11.